this social media platform that we have, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, Twitter, right? All these people, I'm going to get my voice out there. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that. Look, there are 0 people that have typed something on social media and that actually invoked change without them actually going and making the actions to invoke change, right? Because people look, oh, hey, I saw a post. That's actually, okay, that fixed the problem. Good job. Like BS. And people are so like enamored by like, I got to get everything that I feel out onto social media and I need to take a stand and I disagree with this and I disagree with that. Man, shut up and go do something in your community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like that voice, and I'm going to say it right now, that voice I don't care about. Right. Social media to me, look, there's things that can come from it. It's great. But to me, it's people want social media for content. Like use it for creative content, use it from an art perspective, use it for business, whatever. But look, when we're saying, hey, like my opinion and my voice and this and change and that, shut up. Go do it. Go do it in real life.
What's going on, boys?
Not much.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Your phone going off? Is that what it was?
Oh, that's my computer. Yeah. What y'all been up to this week?
We're waiting on you.
What do you mean you're waiting on me? I'm just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah. What have we been up to this week?
Yeah.
We just had a
y'all
long
are busy.
conversation.
You have a lot going on.
Don't say that word. Do not say that word.
You have a lot going on.
We have a lot of good things going on. Matter of fact, the word busy has been a topic of conversation within the office and at my house and with family and friends. So that
because of our episode?
Because of that episode, it's been a hot topic.
Yeah. Are you just punching people in the face?
No, I want to eliminate that word altogether.
Okay. What about you, Ty? What you got going on this week? Too much? Too much to
say it.
No, man. I'm so lucky that I have so many opportunities.
There you go.
Look at that.
Right? And you know what I hate?
Stud.
You know what I hate is I hate downtime between opportunities. Like I'm that guy that like I'm late. You know why I'm late all the time, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
This will be good.
It's because I hate getting somewhere.
justification.
I hate getting somewhere and waiting.
You use that on Tiff. Don't use that on us.
So, hey,
you can bullshit her, don't bullshit us.
It works out great because, hey, look, guys, I don't have downtime in between opportunities. Super lucky. I love it. I love life. That's one way to describe it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm glad to see you because really the only time that I really get to see you guys is when we get together. So
that's a good point. Hey, let's talk about one of the 3 in this group that decided to throw the other one under the bus behind their back last night.
Darren.
I threw you under the bus last night?
This dude.
He didn't believe in you.
Hey, 0 faith.
He had no faith.
He's
How did I throw you under the bus?
You said, hey, Ben, just warning you. He's not going to show up tomorrow. He's going to be late.
I did. So I hit Ben up last night. I said, look.
Because you knew you were looking out for Tyler, actually.
Yes, I would. And I pinged you. I said, don't forget.
He reminded me.
Yeah.
He reminded me.
But I did. I didn't throw you under the bus. I just said, hey, don't be. Because I knew it was going to be a late night.
I had to put a dramatic flair on it.
He was looking out for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
He was looking out for you.
I knew it was going to be a late
facts
night.
get in the way of good stories, right?
But we're here.
But we are here.
We're ready to roll.
Let's rock.
And something that we talked about, we've teased it, our new partner, Sleep Number. We teased this in a few of the ads a few weeks ago. What we're doing with them is more content creation around wellness. And one of the things we're going to start doing, not every episode, but an episode's coming up, and we're going to call it Wellness Wednesday. And it's going to be a short segment giving you guys tips on how to improve your wellness. I have a background in fitness. We all have a background in sports. This is something we're passionate about, we're interested in. Yeah. And we believe that these Wellness Wednesdays are going to be a great opportunity to give you guys just a good tip and each other a good tip. Tangible takeaway.
Advice, guidance, that push to that you can take away and actually apply in your life.
And with it's October now.
Yeah.
With January 1 coming up quickly, believe it or not, 2021 is almost over, fellas. And this is a time where a lot of people are starting to think about their New Year's resolutions and their goals. And a lot of times,
are they there? Or are they thinking about binge eating for the next 3 months? And I'll get started.
How much can I fit in before? Well, and that's why we wanted to do this Wellness Wednesday, is to set you up for success, so that January 1 hits, you're ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So each tip is going to build off each other. We're going to lay the foundation here October, November, December, so that January 1 hits, you're ready to roll. So today, Wellness Wednesday tip number 1 is ask yourself why. So you've got your goals. You know what you want. You know what you want to achieve. Now, take a second, take a minute, take a day, whatever it takes for you, and ask yourself, why am I after that goal? What do I want out of these goals, and why am I after it? So anytime you're looking to start a new habit, in this case, being fit, being healthy, being overall well, to me, after you decided what you want, you need to establish why you want it. Now, Darren's giving me a look on his face like, I don't know if I buy that. I'm going to try to convince you over the next 3 minutes.
There you go. I want you.
Why this is important.
I will listen.
So I'm going to start with a story. So back when I was a trainer, back in my personal training days, this was huge for us. We would have an assessment with prospective clients, personal training clients. And it's an hour long. You're testing their body fat. You're doing all this. You're going through a full questionnaire. But one of the main things we're trying to drill down to is, why is this person sitting in front of me today? What got them out of their routine to come sit in front of a stranger that they don't even know, pour out their heart of what they're trying to accomplish? Why are they here? And what I typically found in my personal experience, was the people that were really connected with why, even if they didn't really know exactly, like it wasn't super deep, but they had a strong reason why, those were the people that had more success. Those were the people that were showing up constantly, doing the right things away from the gym. Those were the people that were getting the results. Right. Was the people that were connected with why they were there. Let me give you an example. I trained a lady, and she comes in and she sits down and she says, hey, I want to lose 15 pounds and get in better shape. Okay, great goal. Why do you want that goal? Well, I just think it'd make me feel better, right? And I'm thinking, okay, there's something more here. So I continue digging. Why? And eventually it gets to the point where she shares with me. So me and my husband, we used to go on these trips every year. He used to plan these outdoor adventure trips. We would go hiking, we would go camping, whatever. Well, I've noticed the last few years he's not been planning these trips anymore. And what I've connected is I've gotten in worse shape the last few years. He stopped planning these trips because he felt bad that I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden it went from, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to get in better shape, to I want my relationship with my husband back. That's why I'm in here.
Yeah, I've got another why I think that's interesting, because everybody's why is different. Whether it's, hey, I want to be healthy for my kids, or I want to be at peak performance condition because I'm competing in something. I want to be able to just perform in the day, whatever it may be. Someone that I respect a ton, and I'll keep it as loose. And if they're listening to the show, they'll probably know that I'm talking about them. But this person has a long line of dementia and
brain. What?
Yeah.
You just had brain fog.
There you go. See, there it is. A long line of dementia and
heart disease. What?
Alzheimer's? Okay.
Family. Goodness gracious.
Do you have Alzheimer's?
It's me, guys. So a family history of that. And so this person has just done research and been very aware of, okay, what things can I control to allow myself not to succumb to that genetic predisposition to whatever condition that is. And so this person has lost a significant amount of weight, but not to lose weight, right? It's overall wellness. It's the activity. So hiking, walking, resistance training, because of the benefits of those, it counteracts. And we learned a little bit last night in a presentation, is there's a protein in the brain that when it gets inflamed, that's when you have these neurological issues like Alzheimer's and dementia. And so this person has taken it and said, look, I'm going to get well to avoid what I watched family members go through, and I don't want to do it. And so again, that's their why. Their why to get in shape, like you said, 10 pounds may be the result. That's not the why. Yeah. They don't want to, I just want to lose 10 pounds. Yeah. And then even personally, like I struggled with my fitness journey for a long time after I retired because there wasn't a why. It was like, my why was providing for my family, creating a new career after football.
Right.
And what I learned after 4 years of just struggling with it was that is directly correlated with me being a better husband, a better father, better employee, a better partner, and all of those things.
There's a lot of whys. I think the number one why, and if I had one thing to say about a why and why people feel like, well, maybe it's time to go see a trainer or go into the gym or whatnot, is because they wake up and they look in that mirror. And that mirror will not lie. It's going to tell you exactly who you
brutal,
are.
isn't it?
It's brutal. It's brutal. He ain't going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to lie to you and say, hey, look, no, you look better than what you think. No. He's going to tell you exactly who you are and why you look the way you are. So that's a why. That's the one that's encouraged. He's going to tell you it's time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. So
that was my why for the longest time. And it still is. That's still a very encouraging
and it's
why.
For a lot of us, because it's that part of it, that mirror will tell you who you are and what you are. And when you start to train, what happens? You start to look a little different. Confidence comes back. There comes a swagger with that. There's just a different feel. And when you feel good, you look good, there's something internally that starts to happen.
That's exactly
with
right.
you as well. Yeah. So,
and I have a coach that I've been working with. And one of the things early on, he said, because I talked about my struggle, and look, it's not that you're respected more because you're fit. Like, I'll never, ever look at someone in the business sector and be like, oh, you're not in shape. Like, I'll never do business. Because, look, they're some of the most talented people, or just, look, fitness is not something that is a priority for them. Right. But what I will say is there is a different perspective. And if you are going to maximize your influence and ability to make change in someone else's life, when they look at you, it is a physical representation of your dedication, of your work ethic, of your commitment, of all of these things that are just good qualities, right? It's not like, hey, I'm not going to do business with you because, like, I don't think that you're fit enough to do it. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, to be honest, like, has zero correlation to your intelligence. Like, hate to say it, but what it does is it does speak to work ethic and commitment, right? Because you can't, like you said, you look in the mirror and you say, okay, hey, get in the gym. It's not like, hey, 2 weeks now I look like the way I want.
That's right. It takes time.
There is a commitment
It's a
involved.
process.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
whether it's to change or to maintain, it is a process.
Yeah. So Wellness Wednesday tip number 1 is get connected with your why. And again, for some people, it may be super deep, like they want to reconnect with their husband. For other people, maybe not as deep. I just want to look better. But if you are connected with that, it's going to wake you up early. It's going to keep you consistent. It's going to keep you going whenever you do want to quit, because it will happen, right? Everybody's jacked up in January.
You're going to want to tap out.
But February comes and people are wanting to tap out.
That's right.
So if you're connected with why you're doing it, and that is such a strong reason in your mind, that's going to keep you going. So make sure that's my tip number 1 is get connected with your why.
And lastly, I'm really glad that Ben's approach to this Wellness Wednesday starting in October is, look, we're going to address January 1st because, again, if you wait till January 1st to 1, create a plan, 2, get into the gym, 3, no, the process starts now. The process for you to have a successful transition and literally make a lifestyle change. And maybe it's not like an overhaul for some of you, but if it is a change that you want to make, it starts now, creating a plan, and it starts with a why. Because, again, if you start in October, then you don't have to start January 1st.
That's right.
Think about January 1st when you're already 3 months into it.
You started January 1st, you're going to be in February before you even ready to roll. Anyway, again, grateful to Sleep Number for bringing us that segment, for that idea. Go get yourself sleepnumber.com. Go check out their stuff. We've talked about it all the time. The technology that they're incorporating into our sleep and then their mattress and their products is unmatched. Nobody else can touch it.
Right.
So go check out sleepnumber.com to learn more. Tyler, that's not all we're talking about
No,
today.
that is not it.
What are we getting into today?
We're just getting ramped up. So it's funny, right? Like there's this paradox in our culture right now. Everyone feels like they have a voice, right? Everybody feels like I can say whatever I want to say, right? Because it's this idea of, hey, look, my voice matters. But here's the thing, is internally, do we really truly believe it? Do we really truly believe that what I have to say is valuable, is received by others, that I'm credible enough to even give that? And I would argue that most of us don't, in that the voice in our head that silences our actual voice is prominent. Right. It's like, look, nobody cares. Like nobody cares what it is. And so the question today that we're just going to talk about is, look, does your voice matter?
Yeah, and to that paradox, I think of the phrase, you're talking a lot, but what are you really saying?
Yeah.
And so you're right. A lot of people do just speak,
make noise.
and talk and make noise. But I think the internal struggle with me has always been, okay, if I'm going to say something, it needs to be impactful. And it can't be impactful until I've put in the time or I have the knowledge or I have the experience.
Right.
So a good example of this, when I first started in our real estate firm 4 years ago, y'all probably damn near fired me because I wouldn't speak up in meetings.
Close. It was really close. Yeah.
Probably still are close. Yeah. But I wouldn't speak up. I was very uncomfortable with the idea of making my voice heard, especially. And honestly, it's still a little bit scary to me to speak up in those scenarios, just because I still feel like, I don't know enough, or nobody cares what I have to say, right? That was my mentality coming in, was I'll speak up whenever I have more to say or when I know more. And in that scenario, I bought into the lie that my voice didn't matter.
Right.
And I think, I'm guessing that other people struggle with that as well in a new scenario, maybe a business setting, that they don't speak up, they don't make their voice heard, they don't let their ideas be heard because they don't think their voice matters.
Well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I honestly don't. I think that it takes for you to be able to get there, you have to be confident in what you're talking about, one, right? So if you're in a new setting, let's say you're a rookie on a football team or a basketball, whatever it is, and you're coming in on the new team and you're the new guy, you may not want to say a whole lot. You want to learn. You want to take in things. You want to, digest some of what's been going on through some of the veterans that are around you. And it's similar in an office setting. If you are the new broker on board, you probably don't have a whole lot of information and you probably don't have a whole lot to say. And people probably won't take you seriously because you're just coming in. It's probably best to learn, see, always say, take a look at the landscape. Know your personnel, digest as much as you possibly can, get all that information, build confidence, and then as you continue to build that confidence, then you have. And I think, Tyler, you said it before on other shows. If you haven't done your research, if you haven't taken the time to learn what you're going to be talking about, then don't talk.
Yeah.
Just listen until you get there. It's like an onboarding process.
Yeah.
You got to learn a lot before you can step up and start.
And I do agree, but devil's advocate, if I could go back and tell myself something back then, would be, hey, there are things though that you do know.
Yeah.
There is value you can still bring. So if you just continue to be silent, is the perception going to be that you don't bring any value? What are you even doing here? Right? So that's the devil's advocate is, yes, be mindful. Be mindful.
Yeah.
Understand. But there is some value that you can bring in some scenario. And so I would just tell myself, don't be scared if there is a scenario where you feel like you can step up and say something and it would bring you value. Don't be scared.
I get
because your
that
voice
part.
doesn't matter.
I don't think you
scenario.
should be afraid. I think you should look. I think there's still part of it, like your actions on who you are and what you do show a lot more than your words sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's what I think you have to show some action of. You have to be forward thinking. You have to show up. You have to do the right thing. You have to be there. And I think that's when people start to see, okay, yeah, maybe Ben he's on point. Yeah, doesn't talk a whole lot. And here's another thing I'll say. In the locker room, in my entire life, in the locker room, you always had guys that spoke and talked a lot, right?
Yeah.
But had zero substance, always fucking late for meetings. But then they want to bark all the time, talk, and no one listens because you haven't built any foundation to be a guy that has a voice. You have to have some type of foundation before you can just get up there and start spouting things off. Yep. Like, it's okay. Silence is okay. So, we may not feel like it's okay, but sometimes silence is okay until you've gotten to the point to where you feel confident enough and you have enough information to provide.
Well, and trust, right?
And trust, yes.
Like it's a trust factor. And so when we talk about voice, let's make sure that we understand that when we're saying voice, we're not necessarily saying it has to be a vocal, like you have to put words out there. Mm-hmm. Your voice can be actions as well.
Yeah.
Your voice can be making an impact on what you do. And look, we always do this, right? We take it from the locker room and then we take it out into,
world.
The civilians, right?
Yeah,
whatever.
Freaking civilians.
And so in the locker room, there's times, right? Like, and I was a rookie. Now I was a 27-year-old rookie, but I felt the same way. It's like, dude, I just got here. Like, I can't bring up anything or, call anybody out or do anything like this. Like, when there's things glaringly wrong, like you see that, look, we are not going the right direction. The problem is silence. And I say silence in people aren't willing to speak up and people aren't willing to change their actions or set the example. Again, it's not just, hey, the ship's going the wrong way, guys. We need to go the other. It's like, so for example, in Chicago, we were rolling my rookie year, rolling, and had a great season. And then Jay gets hurt, and then Forte gets hurt, and then the wheels just fell off, right? And you could see it. Same thing with 2015 with the Cowboys. It was like, okay, guys, this is not going well at all. The problem with silence is if someone is not confident enough, doesn't have the trust, and you don't say anything, then the trajectory doesn't change.
That's right.
Right? So you don't have to be a 15-year, tenured executive to recognize, hey, it's hit the fan.
Yeah.
It's not going the right way. Something's got to change. But there's got to be some emotional intelligence involved in this because, okay, how do I use my voice effectively? It's not standing up in a company meeting, calling people out, complaining. No. It's, okay, can I ask questions? Right. Can I ask thought-provoking questions that get the leaders or the change makers to, okay, I need to and I need to answer it and I need to vocalize it. Right. Is it going and taking on some extra responsibilities and setting the example of what change looks like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it having a one-on-one conversation with leaders? What is it, right, that actually invokes your voice without necessarily you know?
They're tied together. Your actions and your voice are tied together. They're as one. Because if your actions show that I don't give a damn within the office, or I'm just lackadaisical on things, I'm
just going to do me. I'm just going to do me.
I'm just going to do me. And then you're on a Zoom call and you feel like, okay, I'll speak up. Well, your actions and the people on there, they see right through that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all see through that.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a voice, your actions better show who you really are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And people will respect that.
Yeah.
So now your voice carries.
Yeah.
And I've always had, like, on the street, I'll go back to on the streets in Phoenix, but you always had that guy that was the lead guy. He didn't talk a whole lot, but his actions showed, right? When he showed himself, like, hey, I'm tough son of a gun. When chaos is going, I'm easy, I'm steady.
Yeah.
That's the guy that you want to follow.
That's right.
What type of leader were you in the locker room?
I wasn't a vocal leader. I wasn't a guy that was loud and whatnot.
You were a guy.
And no, I showed up on time. I led by example, and then the respect came. So when I said things, it was impactful. And I learned this from Daryl Johnston when I first came in the league. Didn't say a whole lot, but showed up every meeting early. Notebook. He was a professional. Everything he did was to engage others and to show others that, and he just did it naturally. He just did it naturally. Didn't talk a whole lot. His actions just showed that he knew exactly how to be a professional, and he was prepared. And the way he played on Sundays, he was prepared. You saw those things. And then when he said something, we tuned in. You just tuned in because his words carried something, because his actions were so strong. Now, I've had other guys that I've played with in the past and been in the office with who talked a lot. Maybe they were the superstar on the team and they talked a lot, but their actions as far as how they treated individuals, how they acted within the locker room, if they were engaged or whatnot, that didn't show leadership. And when they spoke, carried no weight, zero weight. Now, everybody else on the outside saw it as, oh, my God, they're the voice of the Cowboys.
Leader, yeah.
No. In that locker room, you knew who the dudes were.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. And what you're saying is, in that scenario, your voice doesn't matter if your actions don't match.
They don't matter.
And it's just empty words.
And let's take it to real world. And we talked about like this paradox in culture today. It's like this social media platform that we have, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, Twitter, right? All these people, I'm going to get my voice out there. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that. Look, nobody, there are zero people that have typed something on social media and that actually invoked change without them actually going and making the actions to invoke change, right? Because people, look, oh, hey, I saw a post. That's actually, okay, that fixed the problem. Good job. Like BS. And people are so like enamored by like, I got to get my everything that I feel out onto social media, and I need to take a stand, and I disagree with this, and I disagree with that. Man, shut up and go do something in your community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like that voice, and I'm going to say it right now, that voice I don't care about. Right. Social media to me, look, there's things that can come from it. It's great. Yeah. But to me, it's people want social media for content. Like use it for creative content, use it from an art perspective, use it for business, whatever. But look, when we're saying, hey, like my opinion and my voice and this and change and that, shut up. Go do it. Go do it in real life.
Yeah, you
stay off the keyboard and go do it in real life. Man, that's where your voice matters.
You're speaking, brother. Preach.
Because
I have a guy, he just brought up something. I can't say it.
You started using your outside voice.
Yeah, you did. Your outside voice. Sorry. But I tell you, man, I can't bring it up. I honestly can't bring it up because it's so it's so touchy. But it's touchy in a sense.
I just yelled, Darren.
Yeah, I know.
I thought I fired you up enough.
You did fire me up, and I got a guy we had a situation with a group that I've been with as far as on leadership, as far as the community charity board that's an outreach program, and had one of the persons that was involved, wasn't a board member, but was engaged with us, got upset about how the actions that we were taking, and we weren't doing this the right way, and we weren't engaging with the community the right way, and blah, blah, blah.
And guess what?
And, made it known to everybody that they had a problem with it. But then we start looking at the script of how many times we've been out in the community. Yeah. Maybe it's 25 times. He showed up once. Yeah. But he had a voice on how we can correct all these things, right? And he's probably he's listening to the show. He knows exactly who the fuck I'm talking to.
Bob, screw you.
Yeah. So, but that's just exactly what you just said, man. Yes. You're unengaged, but you want to talk. Yeah. You're not in the community. You're not serving kids. Or you're not serving whatever it is, the topic. But you got a voice.
Yeah.
I have zero respect for that person.
And we can elaborate. And I can yell a whole lot more because I'm really passionate about this, and I know you are too. But here's the thing: is I want to just kind of reset. Is your voice does matter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Everybody listening, your voice does matter. If you're willing to take the actions to back up that voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to play devil's advocate a little bit because I am of the mentality of you two, that old school mentality. Hey, just shut your mouth and get to work. So quit making a big deal on social media about what you're doing. I will say it is a new generation, though. Mm-hmm. There is a new crop of people coming up that do look to social media for their inspiration for action. Mm-hmm. So if you are just only acting in the community, I get it. That's the most important thing. But I don't want to totally piss on the idea of, hey, sometimes it is good to share Darren, I know you're very private with you're doing so much for the community, which is amazing. And I know you're very private with it because it's uncomfortable. It's like, why would I call attention to that?
Right.
I do say this new generation of people need to see you serving, though, would be my argument.
Yeah.
Because it's good. It's good to see, and it's good for you to speak up. Yes, you're doing it. That's the most important thing. Yeah. But people need to know that. It's like the tree falling in the forest. If it doesn't make a sound, now you're making a sound in your community.
Yeah.
But trust me, the virtual community is massive.
And we're saying the same thing, though. We're saying that your voice absolutely matters if you're willing to back it up with actions.
Yeah. Right.
Because again, if they're just empty words, I'm sorry, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like if you're not willing to go do it, if you're not willing to go serve the people that need to be served, don't talk about how they need to be served. Go do it.
Yep.
Show up. If you get a call at 3:00 because a big pile of bark needs to be moved to a park because the kids need to play in it the next day, grab a shovel and go.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is.
But Tyler, you're asking too much of me, man. It's how much easier is it for me to pull my phone out, stick it in my face, and say, "Hey, man, we need to rise against the government. These mask mandates are ridiculous, right?" And then I just turn my phone off and I don't know anything about it, right? I don't know if you guys seen what's going on in Australia right now.
Yeah.
Just crazy, like dictatorship type stuff. And I've got a buddy from Australia that I haven't spoken to. I want to speak to him to see, because his family's still over there. I want to see what it's really like, because, we just see the highlights. But there's people actually putting into action their displeasure. And they're getting arrested. They're getting beaten. They're getting shot. There's a lot going on. I think about the civil rights movement.
Yep.
What if the internet had been around and Dr. King just started, all he did was do an IG story.
Yeah.
Say, hey, let's inspire change. And then he never got out and did anything in the
never
community.
marched and never did all the little things. Yeah.
So his voice mattered in that scenario because he was out getting his elbows dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he was leading speeches. So his voice did matter in that scenario.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with people in Australia. Their voice matters
because
they're getting out there and they're doing it.
I mean, you don't have to go to Australia.
No,
it's happened here in the last few years, right? Yeah. People have a voice because they're tired. And they're going to get out and march. It's okay if you're doing it in a civil way.
That's great.
It's okay to go out there and have
Black
a voice.
Lives Matter.
Absolutely.
You may disagree with some of the motives and some of the details.
Yeah.
But those people I can respect that they believe in that cause, and they got out there and they did
exactly. And if it's just the opposite cause, hey, then get out there and show your strength on the opposite side. But if you really want to have a voice, just don't do it behind closed doors. That's what I'm saying. Like, get on out there and stand for them. I've seen so many athletes, you just brought up Black Lives Matter. I've seen so many athletes shots been fired at them because they haven't been out there. They made all these comments, but they haven't marched, right? So if you feel strongly about it, get on out in the community, serve that community, and then get on your phone and talk about it. I think I want to go back to what you said earlier. And you're so right about like that the tree that falls in the forest and no one, sees
doesn't make a sound. Yeah.
Doesn't make a sound, right? So that is so true, man. Because how I serve, how you serve, Tyler, and I've seen you serve, no one sees the time. Like, there's times where you just go out, and I remember you building helping with the playground by yourself, digging up the dirt, removing things, and by yourself. No one showed up, and no one saw that. But the people that were involved, they showed up and they saw that, man, Tyler came out here and fixed his whole playground by himself. It's incredible, right? But no one saw it, right? I think in today's world, man, you're right.
It's different
because I grew up in a way of don't show yourself. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. You don't need the cameras. You don't need people to pat you on the back. Just do it. But there is something that says also in today's world that others need to see you lead.
Yeah.
They need to see us lead.
Look, and our faith tells us to be exactly how you're talking, like work behind the scenes, don't be seen. That worked well in the 90s when there wasn't social media.
Right.
And you still want to do that because you were impacting those people. And back then, that's all that mattered. Your little small communities, because you didn't know what was going on outside of that community, right? So you make that difference and you are impacting those people, right? Those are the only people that know, but that's just because of how it was. Now it's do those things, continue to work behind the scenes, But I promise you, if it's still done in a humble way, you're going to inspire others to now go out in their communities and start making change.
That's it. That
you're
chain
not calling
reaction.
attention. It depends on how you do it. You're not saying, hey, look at me. I'm Darren Woodson. I'm out here, making change. Look at me. No, you're saying, hey, guys, I'm out here because it's important.
Join me.
You can do the same thing.
Join me.
Join me. That's when your voice needs to matter.
Yeah.
But again, it all goes back to the underlying theme of your actions better match.
Yeah.
It can't just be you. You can't just make an Instagram story and then, never take any action on it.
Right.
It's actually you out there in the community, because now you're impacting that community, but you're also impacting the however many thousands of people that follow what you're doing.
So
And I mean, look, practically as well, like we're talking about community service and making like social change. And I mean, that massive need, but start in the house, start with your significant other, start with your kids, start with your siblings. If you're a teenager, right, is again, don't just bark. And parents, we're so guilty of this, right? Is we just bark at our kids all the time. And how impactful would it be if the words that we say followed the actions that our kids saw? So make the change in your workplace.
Right.
Look, if you feel like there's a change, you know what? Go make the change and show how great the results are so that it can be adopted after you've already made the change and you see the results, right? Create a case study. And so again, this application is in every area of your life. Your voice does matter. It really matters if you have the actions that follow it.
Yep. Totally agree.
Man, this is a great conversation. Yeah. I mean, honestly we came into this and with the topic, and I was thinking, how is this going to play out, man? But I actually learned. You actually spit some wisdom out at me today.
Every now and then,
gave me something. It's usually Tyler who's giving me all the wisdom, but you all of a sudden, no, I'm joking.
The Lord came over me. No, but seriously, the world is changing.
It is changing, man.
I know for me personally, I've got a mentality that's still stuck in the 90s from time to time. There's there's core beliefs that I have that are still core beliefs, but I've got to understand that the way the world is headed, I've got to adjust a little bit.
True.
And if that means inspiring others by calling just a little bit of not to me, but to the action of service,
right,
or to the action of impacting your kids, right? Who can you touch? We've got such a gift with the internet and with social media. I know us three, we're not massive social media, but we've got such a gift, right? We can use it for good, we can use it for bad. But we have an opportunity now to connect like we've never been able to before. And if people like us can lead that charge of positively using social media and positively impacting people, eventually enough of us get together and do that, we're going to... Now, sensationalism, that's always going to be a thing. You're always going to be attracted to the car wreck. I get it. But if enough of us can band together...
I think we're at a time, though, that people are starving for just good.
Yeah.
People are starving.
But what gets the clicks still to this day? And we'll always get the clicks.
It does. Like, I agree with you.
I mean, ask any publication. They run a great story and they run a horrible story. What gets more attention? It's built in our DNA. That's just how we're designed.
Yeah,
but
I still
enough
feel
of us get together.
I mean, you look at you talk about media, right? What is probably the most famous family in Texas over the last 10 years?
In Texas? Oh, Chip and Joanna.
Why?
Because they're just great people.
It's good.
Yeah.
People were starving for it.
Yeah.
Now, look, I agree. Like, you're not going to be an overnight sensation, but I'm telling you, if you're using this social media platform, goodness is in demand. And that's just my perspective. There may be statistics that counter that. My perspective, what I'm following, the things that I'm looking, and that's what we're trying to do on this show.
Absolutely, that's what we're trying to do.
Is we're trying to be just that good.
Positive light.
You leave this like encouraged, motivated, even if I'm shouting in the microphone, I apologize. But whatever it is, like we really we need that, man. We need to be magnets that are pulling things together so that things can go in the same direction and not the alternate, right? Like there's so much division, so much divisiveness. Like, people are starving for good.
Yeah, starving for good, man.
People are starving for connection.
This morning, man, I woke up just this morning, took my son to school, and I tell you guys every morning, I try to have breakfast with him, right? every morning. And, you know, this time together with him, man, is so precious that I just want to see him smile in the morning. Like before he goes to school, just smile. And I want to be like, I'm the guy, the dad that's like joking with him in the morning. Half the time I got to wake him up, and then he's finally like, all right. He gets engaged, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, and then I drop him off at school. Like, it's like, I want to see that smile, that energy, like that positive energy that I can place on my son. So when he walks in that class, he's like, hey,
he can share that.
He's telling jokes and he's having a good time. Like that's what this show's about, man. Yeah. I want people when they listen to our show to go in and say, look, I'm going to work today. Yeah, didn't want to wake up this morning. Yeah, maybe I skipped my workout this morning, but I'm listening to the show. Darren
Tyler was yelling at me.
Tyler was yelling at me, but I'm going into the office and I'm in the positive mood.
Yeah. You know where else people can put a smile on their face?
Where would that be, Ben?
That would be Choctaw Casino and Resort in Durant, Oklahoma. Just an hour north of DFW if you're here locally in the Dallas market. That place will put a smile on your face. It's the resort style, Vegas style experience at not a very far away destination.
Yep.
And we keep saying it. We were up there a few weeks ago, absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
Get yourself up to Choctaw. Brand new restaurants, brand new hotel expansion, brand new. How many slot machines? 3,300 new slot machines. Now, I don't understand any of them, but
yeah.
It's fun to press buttons and pull levers.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is. But here's the deal: is you know what the greatest thing about Choctaw is yes, like talk about goodness, fun, joy. They provide all those things. What I love about Choctaw. And we learned this a lot on the tour when we went and toured the facility, is they took a situation as a tribe being relocated from the Mississippi Valley to Oklahoma, right? Not their native area. And what they have done with it, the jobs that they've created, the innovation that they're creating within. I mean, they've got like archaeology, they've got bioscience, they've got finance, they've got real estate, they've got agriculture, they've got all of these divisions, and they're taking it and they're using their voice. They're using their platform that they have and maximizing it and providing opportunities for their tribe, their nation, and honestly providing joy for everyone else.
Yeah, you went down that road. No. You went down that road, archaeology and all. I'm thinking the pool, the concert venue,
the steakhouse,
But I'm saying, the spa.
So I look at what they're doing outside
of
just
your history to yourself, sir.
So in 1832, but again, it's so much when you go and you get to appreciate that and enjoy that. It's just a different level knowing the impact that they're making, using their voice because they're following it with their actions.
That's right.
I love Choctaw. We appreciate y'all.
Get yourself up there. Any closing thoughts? Something you learned today? Something that you're gonna apply?
Yeah, be more forward thinking. And adjust with the times. If I have a platform, if I'm out there serving, Tyler, you too, we're out there serving, then we all three have to hold each other accountable to bring eyes to what we're doing. Yep. Let's not be the lone wolves and just feel like we're just serving others and it's all okay to keep it in house. Others there's a lot of people that are built just like us, probably just don't know where to go or who to serve or what team to join. So, I need to bring more eyes to what I'm doing in the community.
And use your voice. And one of those things that you talked about is we've got a charity partner every month. And this month is National Breast Cancer Foundation. We had Kevin Hale on, talked about the mission that they've got, right? So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there's an opportunity. Every chance and the reason that you use your voice, right, is that someone may have some sort of connection with that, may have gone through a life experience, but just needed that, like, oh, they're right here. I can go get involved with that. Like I've been looking for something like that. But National Breast Cancer Foundation is that for us this month, month of October. But we're going to continue providing those opportunities going forward and partnering with a local charity, national charity, and we're going to expose you to that. Right. The voice that we're using, because again, look, this may sound arrogant, whatever, we feel confident because we're out doing it. Right. Look, we are going to share these things.
That's right.
And if you connect with it, great. If not, go find your own. But look, that's why we're really proud of this, because it's like finally using the voice to share with our community listeners of like, hey, look, dude, there's a ton of opportunities to go actually invoke change.
Yeah. My encouragement would be to somebody like me who doesn't think that my voice matters because I don't have a big following. I haven't done anything in this life yet, right? I don't have thousands of people that care about what I do. So my encouragement would be to those of us who just think we're average people, that your voice matters. Think about every major movement in history started with average people standing up, putting words, putting actions, all forming together and actually making change. That would be my encouragement. It doesn't matter who you are. You can make change. Your voice does matter. We appreciate you guys. We are so thankful for your support. You can follow us on social media. Speaking of social media, at Darren Woodson Show on Instagram.
Yes.
On our YouTube channel, the Darren Woodson Show. Those are our two major platforms. But thank you for the support. Share these episodes if you get some value out of it. If you enjoy it, if it made you laugh, if it made you think. If we suck, tell us we suck. Leave us reviews, all that good stuff. All of these things help grow this community, help grow this voice that we have and that we want to have going on forward. So we appreciate you guys. We hope you have a great rest of the week. Love you, boys.
Appreciate you
See
guys.
you next time.